All right, everybody. Welcome to our first ever live coaching business opportunity call featuring some of our founding UK coaches, which is so exciting. And I know they're nervous, but you guys are going to do awesome. And I'm excited to hear from you and just kind of where you've been just in less than 30 days. As anybody knows, we launched in the UK on the 19th, which was still less than a month ago. And we've had some crazy success already. And I'm just looking forward to a tons more as we move along. So to those of you on tonight, live with us, welcome. If you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat box. We will get to them at the end and be happy to answer anything and everything that you might be wondering about. Anybody listening to the playback, the recording, same goes for you. If you have any questions, feel free to go back to the coach that sent you the recording and ask them whatever you want to know. We have no secrets, and we're here to let you know everything that there is to know about coaching and why we love it. And you can make a decision if this is something that might work for you. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off tonight. I am Brooke King, and I'm actually the founding coach of Goal Diggers, and I'm from the United States. So across the pond from most of you, I am a wife for 8 years, a mom to two with a third on the way, a director of human resources for a government contractor here in the Washington, D.C. area. I enjoy playing sports. I played competitive basketball and soccer, which is football to most of you, my whole life, and I play tennis now. I love being social, and I love doing things outdoors. You know that meme that's always like, my extent to outdoor activity is drinking wine outside. Like, that's totally me. I love being outside. I love wine. I love having fun. I love traveling. Over the past month, I've been traveling nonstop, so I am very happy to be home and excited for the holidays and to get decorating. Just need to convince my husband that it's time. So that's just a little bit about me. Now, kind of when I got started as a coach in 2014. We had brought my daughter home, who was our second child, July of 2013. And I had two kids within 18 months, two C-sections within 18 months. And so I was kind of like a mess, and I couldn't really get my body back. I couldn't lose the weight. I'm not somebody that walks out of like delivering children with my designer jeans on like a lot of my friends did. And it was very frustrating to me. And for somebody that's usually social and outgoing, all I wanted to do was hide in my house and be in a closet and not let anybody see me. It took me a long time to get back into pre-pregnancy clothes. And my husband actually ordered T25 off of an infomercial. And we started doing that together. And anybody that's done anything by Shaun T knows how like awesome he is. And he just like sucked us in right through the TV, and we were obsessed. And so we got up literally every single morning at 5:30. And of course we were getting no sleep because we had two kids under two. But we motivated each other, and we held each other accountable, and it was kind of like our date, and we did it together. But then when the 21 Day Fix was released, which was March of 2014, I had already started drinking Shakeology, but I didn't know anything about coaching. And so I signed up as a coach. I ordered the 21 Day Fix Challenge Pack. And I really signed up as a coach because I heard that you got faster shipping, that you got the discount going forward because every coach gets 25% off everything, and that, you know, coaches get things faster and cheaper and whatever, and I love a good deal. So I signed up to be a coach because I was like, heck, least worst case scenario, I lose some weight, I work on myself, I save 25% off everything. And by this time, I had been drinking Shakeology for like 2 months, and my doctor had told me I had 6 months to lower my cholesterol on my own. I have genetically high cholesterol, and drinking Shakeology really, really helped that. So I was kind of hooked on that as well. My husband and I have drank a Shakeology every single day for the past 3.5 years. So we are loving this new lifestyle that we've been, kind of grown into. And I'm really excited. I know you guys didn't come to listen to me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to three of our Rockstar UK founding coaches. And I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about their story and how long they've been with Beachbody and what they were excited about to start coaching. So we'll go Caroline, Michael, and Allison, and we'll just open it up for you guys. So go ahead and unmute yourself and share your story.
Okay, thanks, Brooke. My story is going to sound like I've literally just copied Brooke's because I'm married. I've been married for 8 years. I've got two children, both of whom were C-sections.
When did you get married?
2009.
What month?
June the 27th.
Oh, so you're right ahead of me. Okay.
And I've got two kids. I've got a little boy and a little girl, just like Brooke, and I also work in HR. So I kind of like, obviously, Brooke is my kindred spirit. I live in Ascot in Berkshire, and just outside of London. I work part-time in HR. I do the school run, take my lovely son to school, take my daughter to nursery. So I guess I'm a busy working part-time mum. After I had my son, I did lots of exercise and I got really into exercising, but I kept kind of losing interest and finding that I was just into fads and then I'd just give up. And I've been in gyms over the years. I've done gyms, I've done like classes, working out my own, swimming, running. I did a half marathon before I got married. And so I've done lots of different bits of exercise and I really enjoy it. And I definitely believe that you get all the endorphins from exercising and it makes you feel really good. And so after I had my daughter, I was really looking for something. And I looked at lots of gyms locally, and they were quite affordable, but they were still pricey every month. And I just didn't know how I was going to fit it into my schedule because my husband is away quite often, and with the kids, I just didn't know how I was going to do it. And so then I stumbled across on Facebook when I was on holiday this summer, a post from Brooke. And I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. And I looked into it and I jumped straight into the 21-day fix and started trying that out. And, you know, a few months later, I've seen really good results. And that's kind of like my experience of Beachbody has been the last few months, trying lots of different workouts. I've tried 21-day fix, quarter force, and I'm now like just over halfway through Insanity, which is mental. But that's kind of my history. I'm not hugely sporty in the sense that I didn't do loads of, you know, sporting teams at school, but I do feel the benefits of exercising, which is why I love Beachbody, because I can kind of, if I'm having a day where I'm not feeling so fit and healthy, I could, you know, do something that's a bit lighter intensity, or if I'm feeling really up for it, then I can just jump on Insanity and go crazy for 45 minutes or something. So that's kind of my experience and my background. And I don't know, Brooke, if you want me to talk about my experience of coaching now or hand over to Michael.
Kind of, how did you get into coaching and kind of what you're looking for coaching to do kind of for your life? Like what attracted you to the coaching opportunity?
Yeah, so I've off and on for about 3 or 4 years, I have thought about coaching, both in my work and, you know, kind of professionally in business, but also in other areas of life, like life coaching and fitness and lots of other areas. And so when I saw this opportunity, there was something that just jumped out at me that just felt right. And the thing I think for me is, when I, you know, how I feel and how I know a lot of my friends feel is they need that motivation to work out. And it's not just about having a brilliant workout program, but you need, you know, some advice on what to eat, how often to eat, how you get nutrition, but you also need someone to kind of be your kind of, you know, your personal trainer in your ear. And when I learned about Beachbody and all the different elements that kind of bring it together, that's what I loved about the challenge groups. And obviously the first challenge group I did completely motivated me and really kept me accountable. And I thought, do you know what? I would love to do this with other people. I would love to make other people feel as happy and positive forward, and teach people what I have like managed to learn. So, you know, what I like about coaching is trying to introduce people that are looking for ways to be healthier and fitter and improve themselves, and introducing them to some tools that really, really work and are really affordable as well, for people to use, and have like a community that they can go online to, they can talk to, get advice, get motivation, have a whinge to, but ultimately are kind of going to be there for them, have their back and support them. And, you know, I've enjoyed the process myself of going through that. And I really want to help other people do that in an accessible and affordable way that fits around their lifestyle, really. So for me, it's kind of trying to share what I've enjoyed and take that to other people. And it's been wonderful since I've been a coach, all of like a month so far, just how many people ask me about it. I was at a wedding today, this afternoon, and so many people were like, what's this fitness thing you're doing? So I'm telling them about it, and they're like, oh, that sounds really interesting. And then they'll tell me their story about what their situation is and what their challenges are, and just trying to support people and help them to see that it's not, you know, it's not something that is just for lots of, like, you have to pay lots of money for, or you have to, you know, go out to a gym to do. You can do it all at home with like the tiniest bit of space. So that's what I love about coaching, helping people, you know, keep them motivated and give them some tools that, you know, are going to last for years and years.
Awesome. Michael?
Hey. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm not too bad, right? We've got a few people on. It's kind of nice, apart from my face being here, but it's all good. So yeah, I'm Michael Anderson. I am England's first coach from a Beachbody point of view, so that's kind of nice, right? I am, yeah, Jiggy giving me all the things in the background, kind of crazy. And I guess I first got into it a little bit just through Insanity and Shaun T, right? Like, who doesn't like that guy? As much as I swear at my TV every day when he's on, doesn't matter whether it's kind of Max 30 or T25, he kind of got me hooked. And that was maybe 5-6 years ago. Since then, I've got married, had the whole kids thing, and developed this awesome sort of shelf around where my waist used to be. So that is now that's my reason and my motivation. Because I don't want my little girl to have a fat dad who can't run around the play yard and things like that. And all the things I never thought I would think, because I'm a guy and we don't think that way at all. That sort of started kicking in a little bit. And it's like, I don't want to be last on that 3-legged race during sports day. I'm the most competitive person in the world, hence me refreshing on launch day kind of thing 25 days ago, right? So that was kind of me. So I actually inquired about being a coach 4 or 5 years ago in the UK before it was even launched. I didn't even think you guys had Canada open then, to be honest. Anyway, I got a lovely email back from Beachbody just saying, nah, not yet. We might get in touch later, but just go away. You're in England and we're not doing any of that cool stuff yet. And then you popped up somewhere on my Facebook newsfeed, right, Brooke? And I was like, hey, come and have a nice conversation with me. So then we spoke a little bit about coaching, about what it is and what we kind of both enjoy from it, you know, about being competitive, about helping other people on whatever their journey is, that's the coolest thing for me, right? Like, everybody on this call and everybody who listens to the call has a totally different journey, totally different start and end point, but it's all equally as important. So it doesn't matter whether I don't have a transformation story, right? I haven't lost 5-6 stone. That's like 50-60 pounds, right? I don't know. I'm rubbish like that, right? But I don't have that. That's quite a lucky thing. But I'm a guy, and a guy in this business is strange too, right? Because women are better at opening up and better at listening, and we suck at that kind of thing, right? As guys, you guys know about that. Like, we're not very good. So if I can help and support other guys do that kind of thing through their journey, through being fitter and healthier with their kids, through just being fitter and healthier with their wives, we get walked around at a lot of shopping centres, right? Guys, like, we need to be a little bit fit and healthy for that kind of stuff. So that for me is what it's all about. And if I can help one person do that, and then they go on to help another person do that, then that's the coolest thing for me ever. Yeah, that is kind of it. Nice and simple for me. I'll pass you over to Ali because she's dying to talk, right?
I think I've unmuted it actually, yeah. Yeah, excellent. So my story is I got into Beachbody. First of all, I did Insanity. when it first came out. I saw the advertisements on TV, loved it, managed to actually complete it, and got in the best shape of my life. It was fantastic. I had fantastic body, but I didn't have the food, I didn't have the nutrition, so I didn't follow the meal plans. But still it worked, it got results. I can't always go to the gym because obviously I've got my daughter, single parent. It's like being on house arrest after 7 p.m. every night. So gyms were off limits for me, but Insanity worked perfectly. It's hard work, it's not easy, but it gets the job done. But then I sort of moved away from that, gave it up, got bored, drank lots of wine, ate lots of bad food, and then just gradually put loads and loads of weight on, to the point where I was like, I didn't even want to go shopping in my local area because I was too embarrassed in case I bumped into anyone that I knew. Like, none of my clothes fit, it was awful. So I saw the post that Brooke put on Facebook about coaching and Beachbody, and I thought, it's worked for me before, I'm going to give it a go and see how things go. And to be honest, it's the best decision that I've ever made, because I have a supportive community all around me all the time, and I actually have to get the workout done. So as opposed to just not doing it and thinking, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow or the day after, because I know that I have people like that I'm accountable to, I actually have to get it done. So it's the best thing that I have found for a long time.
So you're really enjoying the accountability that comes with coaching, because it's kind of like if you're a coach, people are watching you, so you kind of need to show up.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So I'm less inclined to go to KFC and eat a bargain bucket and sit on my couch all day. Exactly, yeah. So that helps me. I need that kind of accountability, otherwise I'm just going to continue to eat crap food and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is what I definitely needed to reel it all in.
Right. Awesome. And Allison's actually staying accountable while she's on a last second trip to Spain. So that's awesome. Yeah. And Caroline, I know you talked a little bit about how you love the opportunity to be able to help people. Is there anything else you wanted to add to kind of what you're loving so far? It's literally been less than 30 days.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing I'm really loving is the kind of team mentality of it. So the fact that as a member, like a coach in Beachbody, we've got the opportunity to be part of this with so many other people, like the people on this call, the wider team in the US. And I'm just learning so much from everybody, but not just about coaching and Beachbody, but about myself and kind of where some of my strengths lie and where some of my areas that like I need to work on as a person, not just about Beachbody. So the kind of personal development element is really good for me. And like you, Brooke, being in HR, I kind of love a bit of learning and personal development anyway. But I'm really enjoying that side of it as well, like feeling part that even though a lot of the coaches in our team are in the US, I feel that there's so many people that I could just reach out to, ask questions, learn from other people, and also kind of take some of the sort of self-learning about myself. And so that part of it has been like kind of unexpected for me. I think I didn't expect to get that necessarily.
Right. Awesome. What about you, Michael? Is there anything you love about coaching?
No, I'm just kidding. I kind of love it all, right? Like, I don't know. It is 25 days. It's all right. I just checked. The last 25 days has been amazing. Obviously, we come down and met you guys in London. So I loved that. Like the launch event, everyone was going on, and I was worried about this cheesy American event kind of being put on. The rest of the guys on the call will be able to relate to that a little bit more, right? But it wasn't. There were so many people in the same place who all wanted the same thing, and it felt a little bit like a football match almost. You know, it was all these people kind of wanting the same result for each other. I love that so much. So easy to kind of, obviously the girls have touched a little bit there on accountability. Facebook groups, I love that. It's dead easy kind of thing. And I use the challenge app as well, because then that keeps me more accountable. You guys know I hate my photos and things like that being taken, but I put one in the challenge group every day, just of me I know nobody else can see it, but that is part of my personal development, which is something that we actively encourage our coaches to do, you know, go out, get out of our comfort zones and just become a bigger person, which is by far the kind of best thing. I now get to spend a little bit more time with Phoebe, who's in bed. So if I sound really quiet, it's because she's just above me. Okay, so sorry, anyone out there? But yeah, I get this, my Saturdays and Sundays, late nights are all about her. She's all over my Facebook. She's the little blonde person kind of thing who's in it every single photo. And obviously, what was it, 4 hours before I was promoted, kind of thing. 44 hours. And I've never had a job where I've been promoted after 4 hours. Maybe it's like 4 years or something. Maybe I need to get better at working at them jobs too. Who knows? But yeah, 4 hours, and then the CEO of the company reads my name out on his Facebook Live, which was kind of nice. Never had that done by anyone, kind of thing. So that was pretty awesome recognition. And then the other day we had a personal call with Jeff Hill, who was the president of the company. Like, it's different, right? If you're in senior management, then they speak to senior management of their companies. They don't speak to the little guys though, right? Like they're just a number. And I've worked for some big corporations, and we are just numbers to a lot of corporations. Shouldn't say that really with 2 HR people on the call, but that is kind of how we are, right? And then there's Jeff, who just picks up the phone, gives us a call. There is a bit of a time difference, don't forget, guys, between those working in America and on our tiny little island that we have here that we think is so vastly huge. So for them guys to do that and to take 30 minutes out of his day, that's great, right? Like he might just spend his week doing that. I don't know. All right. But he took the time to phone me to kind of make it a bit personal. You didn't have to do that. So for me, the recognition side, not just for me recognizing people in our challenge groups, but also from the corporate side of the business almost. That's great, right? Like that's phenomenal where I come from.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a similar story to that as well, kind of because I've been in corporate America for what's like 15 years now. It's crazy how fast time flies. And I climbed the corporate ladder pretty quickly, but never have I been somewhere where I felt so appreciative or appreciated, and I felt so like recognized for hard work. So a lot of you on the call are probably thinking, so what is it that you guys do, right? You're hearing a lot about accountability. You're hearing a lot about challenge groups, but you probably don't really know what those are. So as a coach, there's no prerequisite, right? You don't have to be a nutritionist. You don't have to be a personal trainer. You don't have to be a professional in any sort of health or fitness kind of industry. But, you know, we do have nurses. We do have physical therapists or personal trainers and everybody on the team that might have a little bit more knowledge kind of in the health industry, but it's definitely not required. I'm in HR. So, but, you know, what we do is we're basically people's motivators, and we're cheerleaders, and we show up for them every single day. We run a monthly challenge group. Is what we call it. I kind of call it a virtual boot camp, because I think, you know, you work out at your home or wherever you choose on your own time and on your own schedule. And then you have this group of awesome, supportive community people that you can check in with as your own accountability. And people in there are going to be there to support you and to cheer for you and to share recipes and share tips and tricks that are working for them when they're traveling or when they're on the road or anything like that, you know. And it's really just a fun environment to help you be accountable to working out at home, because I think that that's what Carl Deichler, our CEO, found, was that people were loving the programs. They were doing P90X, they were doing Insanity before they launched the Coach Network. And then once they launched the Coach Network, that was because people were on these message boards holding each other accountable. And so how cool would it be to have a coach? So now everybody that orders something through Beachbody, whether it be a program or on demand or Shakeology or the Performance line, is assigned a coach. And when you get to Emerald, which Michael and Allison, they've already achieved in the first 20 days, you start receiving those free leads. So anybody that hears something on the radio or on TV or wherever they might hear about these programs, they go on Beachbody.com, they order it, and then they're going to be assigned a coach. And so, you know, they really give back to the network a lot. They have trips that they give away. I went to Mexico where did I go last year? Punta Cana last year. I have a fully paid trip to Mexico in April that I'm not going to be able to go on because I'm going to be 36 weeks pregnant, and I'm so bummed. But it's totally paid for right now. I just got back from leadership in Las Vegas. Everything, they really encourage you and they give you a opportunity of a lifetime with the perks and the recognition and everything else that they have to offer in this business. So that's kind of what we do, right? We show up, we run our full-fledged business. You are the CEO, which I loved about this business. Like I said, I climbed the corporate ladder, and then I've kind of gotten to this spot where there's nowhere else to go, unless my boss retires and I want to take her job, which I don't. There's nowhere else to go. And so I think that with this business, it really gave me an outlet to be creative. It gave me an opportunity to do things that I thought of, like, any ideas that I came up with to help people. You can just try it. You can try whatever you want in this business. It's really your business to do, when you want to do it, how much you want to do it during the week. If you want to take a week off, take a week off. If you want to take the month off, take the month off. Like I said, for me, I started working out in January 2014. I became a coach in March of 2014. And I kind of just dabbled in it for like 10 months. I really, I became Emerald and Diamond really quickly because I kind of was just excited, and I got all the people, my work, to do it with me. But I didn't run challenge groups, and I wasn't really making a lot of money. I was making probably $100, a couple $100 every month, just talking to people personally that saw my transformations. And I would run a challenge group maybe every couple months, no big deal. Until, I don't know what hit me on the head, but something was like, I don't want to be in corporate America and sitting at my desk for the next 50 years. I don't want my husband to be in corporate America sitting at my desk for the next 50 years. I hated leaving my kids. I hated leaving when they were sick. I hated leaving and letting other people raise them and doing all those first milestones with them. And something just kind of hit me on the head that was like, you know what, Brooke, you have this opportunity right in front of you where you can create wealth and you can create an income based on your passion for helping people and for running these groups and helping people get fit and feel like I did after I didn't want to leave my house. So like I said, I started off those first 10 months making a couple $100 here and there. And then my team, we pushed in 2015 and we went to the very, very top of the company in 12 months. And then, we've been able to pay off cars. We've been able to pay cash for Disney. We've been able to pay off loans. It's really just benefited our family so incredibly much that there is no way I could not do this business because I love it so much and I see the benefit that it has for my family. So my favorite thing about coaching is the team, because I grew up playing on teams. I find that there's just no feeling quite like working together for something and winning and hitting the top together and knowing that it takes the team to make it work. And in 2015, that's exactly what we did. It took every single one of us on the team to make that work and to hit those milestones. And I just think that when you celebrate with people and you know that you guys worked your, butts off, whatever, to make that happen, I don't think anything really compares to that. And I really needed a team when I found Beachbody. I was, not wanting to leave my house. I was really stuck in a lot of mom guilt. I was, rushing every morning to get the kids out of the house, off to work for the entire day, coming home, doing the bath, bed, dinner time, and then I would crash because I was exhausted. And so I had no time for anything for myself. I didn't talk to any adults. And it was just so great to be able to find a tribe that was very similar to me, that we could get on calls like this and we could have wine, or we could talk about life, or we could talk about business, or anything that we wanted to talk about. And, we could do it from home and we could do it from our yoga pants, and we didn't have to get ready or leave the kids or do anything like that. So that was really my favorite thing about coaching, is the team and the pushing together to really make stuff happen. And we do. Our team works together every single day. We celebrate together. We travel together. We share everything that works for us. We don't hold anything back. Everybody wants everybody to succeed, and everybody will help everybody. Like I said, I love the fact that I can be my own CEO. I can take off when I want to. I can try new ideas that come to my head. The appreciation from Beachbody, like Michael said, is just, I've never seen anything like it. The compensation factor has made me dream bigger than I've ever imagined. There's just so many things that I think come from such an opportunity where you can make it whatever you want to make it. So that's just a little bit about what I love. I clearly have been doing this for a very long time. It's been about 3.5 years. And sure, some days are harder than others, and some days you just want to throw in the towel and hide under your covers and call it quits. But at the end of the day, I look at my family, I look at a picture, and I know that I love health and fitness. That's kind of the athlete in me. That's kind of like where I belong. And I know that this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and this is the ticket, and this is the pathway to a better life for my family and a better future for my family. So that's what pushes me forward, and that's what keeps me going every single day. So, you know, while there's a lot of things that we all love about coaching, of course, we all started somewhere. I remember being on a call just like this, and I was like, oh my God, what am I even listening to? What am I getting into? I was terrified. I was terrified of a lot of things, and we're going to go around and kind of talk about some of the fears. And I can tell you, after being in the business for 3.5 years, I still have them. I still work on personal development, like Caroline said, every single day. And we'll let them tell you a little bit about some of their fears since they're brand new. But I can tell you I was terrified of a couple things. One being posting on social media, right? I was somebody that really didn't post on social media, maybe a picture of my kids here and there. But posting on social media, I remember the very first time I posted something and I was like, oh my God, what is everybody going to think? What is everybody going to think? And I pushed return and I ran up to my room. I hid my face in my covers and I was like, I'll check it in the morning because I just don't even want to know what my friends are saying right now. I was so worried about what everybody else was going to think. And I'm not saying that I'm totally confident with that at all now, but I'm much more in touch with why I'm doing it. And the people that I'm inspiring make it all that worth it, because there's always going to be people that just disagree with what you're doing. But we can't make everyone happy. So I've learned that. I was also very worried about time and how I was going to find time to add something else to my plate. What I found, you guys, was you literally can work this when you want. I've built a 6-figure business from my cell phone while having a full-time career, while having 2 kids. You literally can do it at soccer practice. You can do it in your car while you're, in the car wash. You can do it at lunch, at your lunch break. You can get up a little bit earlier, do it then. You can stay up a little bit later, do it then. When I first started coaching, I think I worked 30 minutes a day, honestly, until I started growing a team and it took, a little bit longer. I really try to do it all in 2 hours a day now, besides just, back and forth conversation. But, it's worth it, right? So time was something I was worried about, but literally I've learned how to find little pockets of time. And if I'm overwhelmed and I just want to take the day off, then I just take the day off. I just don't work that day. It's very simple. So time was something I was really, really concerned about, because I always been telling myself I need to say no and I need to stop taking on other things. But this is something that I'm very glad I did take on. And then the last thing that I was really, really concerned about was not being at my goal weight. Because here, I was a hot mess. How on earth was I going to inspire other hot mess moms to get on their journey, right? Because I was, 40 pounds overweight, like 30 of that was, whatever. And I was so out of shape because I just couldn't do anything. And so I was very, very concerned about, well, how am I going to inspire anybody? Why is anybody going to listen to me? What am I going to do? But what I found, you guys, was that people enjoy being on that journey with you. They want to see your struggles. They want to see your successes. They want to see your ups, your downs. If you show them, here's where I started, and 3 months later, here's where I was, that looks like a really long time for them. They want to see the day-to-day. They want to work out with you. They want to be in the trenches with you. They want to be, going at it with you. So I think, there's any time's a perfect time to start, no matter where you are in your journey, and just share your journey so that people can see everything you've been through. So let's go around to our UK coaches and find out what their fears have been. Who wants to start? Michael? Sure. Your fear was that I would call on you first.
Yeah, sorry, I was replying to somebody on Facebook and doesn't matter. So I've mentioned maybe 10 times on this call already. This is the part that I don't like. I don't really like sharing it. I hate having my photo taken and all that kind of stuff. It's not me. It's not really what I do. And then the thought of sharing that with the world on Facebook and with all these other very, very pretty human beings in the world kind of thing, just that absolutely terrified me. So me and Brooke had this conversation. And it pretty much went, you just need to man up, Michael, I guess.
Well, we're friends, so I'm not like that.
But no, that sort of was the conversation. I spoke about it with a few of my friends, and stuff, and some of the coaches. Obviously, we have a coaching group as well. I think there's about 250 coaches in that, maybe.
Yeah.
And some of them have the same fears that I had. You know, they didn't like the idea of posting their photos every day. And then they also said, actually, it doesn't have to be a sweaty photo every day, you know, just take photos of life kind of thing, and of your life, more importantly, and about your enjoyment in that. So that's helping with my fears. I am by no means over it. So all them awkward selfies that you guys see on my Facebook, it's all Brooke's fault. Okay, it's nobody else's. And that was a big thing for me. And then also, when you start to do a little bit of research about Beachbody and things, you tend to find actually a lot of their coaches are female, kind of thing, and a lot of successful coaches are female too. So I think we looked 205 elite coaches, maybe, Brooke, last year.
Yep.
And maybe like 5 male ones.
I think there were 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So out of all them, so I was like, oh, is this such a female dominated thing? Surely not, right? And then I'm like, well, Sean T's doing it, right? Like Tony Horton's doing it. Pick some of the male trainers. Yes, there's female ones too, but also the reasons the guys aren't successful is just because the women do it better. You can delete that from the recording, right? But you do, right? They just work smarter, right? So then my job is to just do what Brooke and all the other successful coaches say works. Getting out your comfort zone, posting my photos, doing all that kind of cool stuff. That will inevitably help me, my team, Brooke, and everyone else on this call be a better person and be more successful just in life. Not even at the Beachbody coach thing, just in our overall life kind. And that bit is a very, very big fear for me. But also, let's all get on that elite stage, right? Like, let's make it 6 guys next time, not just 5. So we're slightly competitive, right? Brooke's going to push me to do that.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for, to help you. And I will go on the record saying that Michael and I really hit it off and became really good friends. So I feel very comfortable being like, just get over it and post your picture. But
she is quite a nice human being, guys. Like, she's not a mean mom or anything like that kind of thing.
But you don't have to do anything you don't feel comfortable with, is what I'm saying. So if posting yourself or doing selfies or doing this stuff is going to be uncomfortable for you, everyone's been there. That's a very big fear that a lot of people have had, and that is something we can work through, and we can do it at your pace, and we can go with your pace. But we're going to make sure that your goals are in alignment with what you're willing to do, because in order to inspire people and run your own business, you have to be your billboard. You know, if you were a billboard, if you were running a business about purses, you would have purses all over your timeline. So you just kind of got to think about it that way. What about you, Caroline?
Well, I think similar to both Michael and you, Brooke. I think I had kind of like 2 big fears. The first one was posting on social media. I mean, I'd always posted on social media like, this is what I'm doing, and maybe a couple of times a week. But like, I don't like really feel like I've got the most exciting life. I've got a wonderful life, but I haven't got a lot that I would want to kind of, you know, broadcast like hugely publicly. So that is my biggest fear. And, you know, we've had lots of conversations about it, Brooke, and and the personal development really helps me kind of just like put it into context and think about, you know, what I'm doing. So the social media is still like a big learning point for me of like overcoming that. And I think the other thing that I've found I thought would be a bigger challenge than it is I thought to myself, how can I do this if I'm not a personal trainer and I'm not a nutritionist and I don't, you know, I'm not an expert in it. But what I've realized is that actually people kind of like the fact that I'm just a normal person, and I'm a mum that does the school run, and you know, there's lots of other mums that do the school run and they're in their gym gear, and they'll say, oh, what are you doing today? And I'll say, oh, I'm going to go home, and when my daughter naps, I'm going to do Insanity. And they go, oh, you're doing Insanity. So what I've kind of realized is that people seem to like the fact that as a coach, I'm just a normal person that's just telling them my experience. and what I'm enjoying, and they're seeing that I haven't got, and I don't know if I ever will, having had 2 cesareans, have washboard abs. I haven't got washboard abs. I haven't got really like skinny legs or whatever. I'm just normal, and I've got the same hang-ups. And you know, today I went to a wedding and I probably ate food that is completely off the scale. So that kind of fear dissolved quite quickly, because I realized that actually people can be quite intimidated by having somebody that's super fit and super toned, because you might never be like that. But just seeing somebody that's by your side, that wants to encourage you, wants to coach you, that's like you, and has the same body hang-ups and challenges of time and stuff, I think, you know, people are actually more inspired by that, is what I'm finding.
Absolutely. That's a huge one. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's really, really important, because we think to be health and fitness coaches, we have to be professional coaches. And that's not the case. And you're right. It does inspire people to know that we're normal people, and we're just showing up every single day the same way they are and going through it with them. That's great. Thank you so much, Caroline. What about you, Allison?
Hi. So my main concern was mainly time, because I obviously work full time and work really hard. I work constantly. So the last thing I thought I needed was then going to take up my time. I thought it was going to take a lot of time investment, and it would damage what I already do. But what I found was that I'm not sure if this is going. My camera keeps stopping. The signal's not very good where I am. But what I found was when I spoke to Brooke, and she said that she worked full time in like a really good job, and I thought, well, if she can find the time, and I spoke to her and I said, how often do you, how much time do you invest in this? How is it possible? And I just thought, for Brooke to come to the position that she's in the company, and to be earning the kind of money that she earns through the company, and work full time, I thought, well, if she can do it, then I can definitely do it. And I'm finding it doesn't actually take that long, because all you're really doing is doing what you would do anyway. So you're doing the workout, which is great. You're getting fit in the process. You're eating healthier, which is all very beneficial, and then you're inspiring other people to do the same thing. It's an act of time, and it's a pleasure. It's not like you dread doing it. It's something that I want to help my friends. I want to help other people. So yeah, it's not been an issue at all. It's something that I enjoy doing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so true. And I think time is what scares people so bad. But it's really, you can make it what you want. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's what any other coach that brought you to this call is here to do, is help you find those pockets during your day and teach you the behaviors and the activities that you need to do during those pockets in order to build a business. So that's what we're here to do. That's how we're going to help you. And speaking of, I know that if I was listening to this call for the first time, I would be like, tell me where to sign. What do I do? How do I get on this team? I love them. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of 3 different types of coaches, how to get signed up, and then what's going to happen in your first 30 days, so that you are totally aware of how that's going to work. So we have people classified as 3 different types of coaches. We have a discount coach, which is somebody that loves the products. They basically are just signed up as a coach so they can get that 25% off. We have a lot of coaches that do this for Shakeology because it's just an amazing product. So everybody in the world should be drinking Shakeology, and you can be a coach, a discount coach, and get 25% off that. We also have people that we call a hobby coach. So this is kind of what I was doing the first 10 months of my business. You can go back and forth between the different types of coaches at any time. There's no like anything you do in the back office. It's just kind of a mindset. And a hobby coach is basically somebody that's doing the stuff. They're working out, they're drinking the shakes, they're eating healthy, but they're doing it for them, right? They're working on themselves first. And if people ask them, or if people say, hey, what are you doing? You know, that a hobby coach would talk to them, tell them what's up, and then refer them to their coach's challenge group. They're not running challenge groups every month. It's very low key, but they're just being a product of the product themselves and inspiring people, because it's hard not to when you're being so successful. Then we have all-in coaches, and all-in coaches, of course, there's many different varieties of how all-in you are, quote unquote. You know, there's people that are diehard. I'm going to go make a 7-figure income. I'm showing up for work every single day. I'm running my challenge group every single month. I'm running free groups. I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the stuff. Then there's people that are all-in coaches, but they're maybe going a little bit slower pace, and that's totally fine. And like I said before, I want people to do what they're comfortable doing, because otherwise you're going to get burnt out, and we don't want that. We want you to do what you're comfortable doing at a pace you're comfortable doing it. And so an all-in coach is just that. They're doing challenge groups. They're doing they're running their own challenge groups. They're doing calls like this. They're kind of talking to people. They're, building a team themselves. They're starting their own little empire. So that's something else that people do, and you don't have to start off that way, but as you do, we have training for you, and we have training at every single one of those levels. So in your first 30 days, what's going to happen? You're going to go to your coach that sent you here tonight. You're going to say, duh, I want on this team. And they're going to say, awesome. So then they're going to make a little graphic. They're going to introduce you on our team page. And it's going to be kind of like you're walking into a party. Everyone's going to comment on there. They're going to welcome you. They're going to tell you how excited they are that you're here, because we literally are so excited to welcome all the new coaches to our team. And then we're going to send you an email that gives you some information and a training site where we have 30 days worth of training. So it's like your first 30 days. You can do it one day at a time. You can do it one thing every other day, one thing a week, however you want. It's self-paced. But if you want to run and you want to sprint, we have a 7-day quick start that you can get going on, and you can literally kick your business off today or tomorrow, because it's a little late right now. But tomorrow. So, the first 30 days, it's very step-by-step. It's very handheld. It's very, here's what you do. Here's samples of how to do it. And here's what's worked for coaches in the past. And then after that, we're here. We're still here. We're still working together. You'll probably start to feel a little more comfortable in your own business. If not, that's totally fine. You can stay, under the wing of your coach, and that's totally cool to just fly like that as long as you need to. Because some coaches, they take off right away, they hit the ground running, and others it takes a little bit longer, and that's totally fine. So that's kind of like what your first 30 days will look like. And we'll tell you like how to post your What is Coaching post, or how to run your challenge groups. We have scripts for everything. We have templates for all the challenge groups. You don't have to recreate or duplicate anything. Everything's already created for you. So I know Kizzy, I saw a hand up, and I've never ever seen that before. It's so cute. Do you have a question? You can come on and ask that if you want, or you can type it in the chat box. We'll see if anybody has any questions. Let me just look over there. I haven't looked in it yet. And see if there are any questions. No, I don't see any. Does anybody have any questions that's on listening? Karen or Michael or Kizzy? So far, so good. Karen, did we tell you what you came to learn? Yes? Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, well, before we go, does any of the speakers tonight have any last things they want to say? You can go ahead and chime in. No particular order. You guys did great.
I'm good, Brooke. Thank you.
Thank you. So I always have something to say. So I will go ahead and close it out with, I know there's never a right time, right? Quote unquote. There's always something going on that's going to make you think, now's not the time. I've got this, I've got that, I've got school, I want to buy a house, I need to go eat candy, whatever it is. You're always going to think that there's not the right time. But I can tell you right now, especially for coaches in the UK, the goals that they have set for the end of this year, the goals that they have set for the end of next year are huge. They're really, really big goals, and this is the time to become a part of it. So whether you've been thinking about coaching, or you've been thinking, or you're just here for curiosity, or if you've been wondering if this is something that you want to do, I really strongly encourage you to dive in. The very worst case scenario is that you're going to make a lot of new friends, and you're going to find a program that you love. You're going to get fit in an awesome group, and that is the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, something else happens past that is in line with your goals for what you want. And join us in a challenge group. See how much fun it is. See if that's something you can get on board with. See if that's what you want to do, and it's something you're passionate about, paying it forward. You can hear from Caroline, who just had amazing results with Insanity, and she can't help but want to scream it from the rooftops, because that's what you want to do, is help people. And so I'm just encouraging you, if you've thought about it, ask the questions that are on your mind. Don't hold back because of fear. Fear is always going to be there. It's always going to want to hold us back, but it's the people that push that out of the way and really take that step and that giant leap forward that are going to have things pay off in millions in the long run. So that's all I have to say, and I hope everybody has a great night. And if anybody has any questions, you can find me on Facebook or ask the coach that brought you here. All right? All right, bye guys.